The Bombers.
Bombers. 1 and 6.
Well, they've got to get something, and it's one of those real back-to-the-wall situations, I think.
How many do you have?
They're running out of walls.
Yeah, they are. Both Greens were good. Toby and Tom.
Yes.
Green with envy. I was there.
This is the first time they take on a side inside the top 8.
Yes.
So their hardest game so far.
If you want the Giants, so I'd take them at $2.10.
Are you
No, I'm not saying that, but if you like the Giants at $2.10.
I thought we nearly had that on tape.
G'day, punters. Welcome to Chewing the Fat. Billy Brownless here. And let me introduce the #1 points bet tipster in the world, Daisy Thomas.
Thank you, Bill. Yes, we rejoiced on the weekend. We found the punters a few winners. Saturday especially. Sunday form wasn't so good, but Saturday, Freo, GWS, and, of course, Port Adelaide. Real value there. Freo were $3.
I know. Oh. How'd you find it? What about round 8 of
let's
AFL footy here? Port Adelaide, 2 in a row, look out, and take on the Doggies, and it's in Adelaide. The Port Adelaide supporters are getting a bit, I reckon they'll be very happy to see this
They're
game.
back, Bill. They're up and about. They're excited. They didn't have a whole lot to cheer for in the first 5 rounds, but they've just steadied the ship a little bit, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them. They feel like they've got a bit of confidence back. They've always had the system that would stack up, but just void of confidence early. They got that back, so $1.95 here. I know everyone's listening now, is where I'll be looking. I think they've still got a few demons to overcome too from that prelim final. The Dogs, I still don't know. I really don't know what they're producing this year.
Well, they found some different goal kickers last week. Have a look at this. McNeil 3, Wallace, good Mitchie 2, and Dunkley kicked 2. So some different goal kickers.
Different avenues to goal,
good.
which is a good thing to have and a nice feather in your cap, if you will. But I just think Port Adelaide, all things equal over the past fortnight, going off that form, I'll be tipping them.
I'm with you, superstar tipster. What about this one? The traditional rivals, Richmond Collingwood. They've been going at it for years and years at the MCG.
They certainly have, and this should be a good game. I think Collingwood is some value there because they're ticking along really nicely. Every time we think they're just going to stumble and maybe trip up, they prove us wrong, and I thought that was going to be the case on the weekend of the Gold Coast Suns, but they were good. It was almost a mature win for a young side.
Professional win, nearly. You know who you love is Myercheck. 100%.
Just gets it done, doesn't he?
Exactly. And even Ginnivan. That's him. He's been really good too. So there's a couple of boys there. But Richmond, they'll have some confidence here. They won by 109 points, Dave.
Yeah, well, I will be tipping Richmond. I think their firepower up front will be too strong for the Magpies' defence. I always worry a little bit with little Jack Madgen Dragons down there. No,
Tigers for me. Now this is a very interesting game in Canberra. The Giants, very, very good last week. Cats, not so good. But the Cats have got to bounce back here.
They do need to bounce back. The Cats weren't bad. I think Fremantle will just give them a big tick, and the Cats can just have a pass mark for being super competitive. GWS, though, that was a big tick for them. They needed to get something going, and they certainly did. It's amazing the confidence they get back as a side when Toby Green is out there playing. He was taking hangers, kicking goals.
Well, both Greens were good. Toby and Tom. Green with envy. I was there. But Josh Kelly was outstanding. Taranto, Ward, Caniglio. They're slowly getting that midfield back, and they're starting to play some good footy.
Yes, they are, and it's indicated there in the betting 2.10. So I think Geelong at $1.75, though, will be too strong, but they'll get it done late in that one.
If you want the Giants, so I'd take them at $2.10.
Are you tipping?
No, I'm not saying that, but if you like the Giants at $2.10.
I thought we nearly had that on tape.
Essendon take on Hawthorn here at Marvel. Interesting game because the Hawks are very short there at $1.65.
They are, the young Hawks, but again, the form of what they produced last week, if they can serve that up again to the Bombers, they well entitled to be favourites in this one. That's the query, though. If they can back up, we've seen a few times this season they've been up for a couple of weeks and then fall off. So the Bombers,
1 and 6.
Well, they've got to get something, and it's one of those real back-to-the-wall situations, I think.
How many do you have?
They're running out of walls.
Yeah, they are.
I tell you what, $2.25, though, is where I'll be looking here. I think it should be a cracking game. They hate each other, but I think this will be one of those games where they get down and dirty and they can get something going.
Righto. Interesting. All right. Essendon at $2.25, says the tipster. And this game here, MCG on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, of course. Melbourne just going beautifully, but they're going to have to drop a game sooner or later, aren't they, Dave?
Well, you'd imagine so. I think it took them to round 10 last year when they dropped one against the Crows. So this is the first time they take on a side inside the top 8.
Yes.
So their hardest game so far, $3.20 for the Saints. They'll have to improve on what they dished up last week.
Yes, they will.
And Melbourne, they're just consummate professionals across the board. COVID didn't even worry them. We expect a few of those players to come back. I think $1.35, it's short, but I think it'll have to do.
No, you're spot on. Injury, illness, doesn't matter with Melbourne. They just get another player in there. Yep. He does his job. So well done. The D's for us there. If you downloaded the points bet
I have, Bill. It takes a minute of your time. You get access to all those markets and many, many more, Bill. And if you do download it, please
bet responsibly.